there are different types of diabetes, but diabetes is basically when your body produces either too much or not enough insulin. Sometimes people can have diabetes and their body produces too much insulin and their sugar can go like low, like really low all the time. It doesn't matter how much food that you get, your sugar can go low, and that could, you know, that could go into you like having like seizures or like passing out and different things. Everyone's at the end of the day, everybody's body is different. And sometimes your body can produce little to no insulin. So if your body does not produce insulin, you would have to take another form of insulin where you would pour something into a shot and you could put it into your arm, your leg, and shoot yourself with insulin to, make sure that you have enough insulin, because if you don't have enough insulin in your body, you could get really sick, you could go into a coma, you could get very dehydrated, and there's a lot of things that could happen to you. You can get really dizzy. There's a lot of things that could happen to you. So that's just diabetes. That's diabetes. Now, there are different kinds of diabetes and different ways that you can get diabetes. So sometimes people get diabetes when they get a little older, and of course, as you get older, your body is more likely to get sicknesses because your immune system is not as strong as you think because you're getting older. Sometimes things could be genetic. Like me, type 1 diabetes is more genetic, so I've had mine because of genetic purposes. Sometimes you can even get diabetes just if you're pregnant. Like you might not have it for your whole life, but as soon as you get pregnant, your body is going through changes. So that could be one of the reasons. Sometimes you could get diabetes. Sometimes you could get diabetes from being like overweight or whatsoever, and then as soon as you lose weight, your diabetes can go away. Now, type 2 diabetes, you either get it longer in the run as you get older, or you can get it from being overweight, and then as soon as get back on a healthier lifestyle, you could lose weight and you could like not have diabetes anymore. Type 1 diabetes, sadly to say, the one that I have, it's not your fault, but it will never go away. It's more genetic and it's in your genes, and it will never go away. So, with that being said, I'm going to tell you guys about all the things that I do to keep my blood sugar in control and some of my experiences with having diabetes. Now, with that being said, when you have diabetes, you have to check your blood sugar to make sure that it stays in control. So with that, you can either have a needle in your arm. I have a Dexcom, or you can manually check your blood sugar with a finger stick. I started off with the finger stick. I was doing finger stick for 12, 11 years. I've been doing finger sticks. Sometimes that can result into your fingers. You can't really see, but my fingers used to have marks and stuff on it from me running out of spaces to prick my finger. And I used to check my sugar so much, and I used to get bruises on my finger. And now I don't have to do that anymore. I take one shot every 10 days, and I change out my needle, and this needle stays in me, and my blood sugars come to my phone. Blood sugars come to my phone. I use an app called Dexcom. It's a Dexcom G6. Guys, I'm going to explain to you about my blood sugars later. This is my blood sugar. There's an app called Dexcom. Right now, my blood, and it shows you your trends as well. Excuse my phone, it's cracked. It shows you your trends as well. Right now, my sugar is 394. I'm going to explain to you guys. It's pretty high. An average blood sugar would be like in the 100s, here, depending on who you are. And then again, like there's no, oh, if your blood sugar is not this, then it has to be this, because everybody's body is different. So I'm not going to say, oh, if your sugar is not 120, then it's bad, because someone's normal range might be 100 to 150. Everybody's body is different. So there's no one set way that your sugar has to be, because everybody's body absorbs insulin differently and reacts differently depending on how your diabetes is. So yeah, there's no set like, oh, your sugar has to be like this, or no, if you don't do this, then your body's gonna like. There's no set thing. Everybody's body is different. So when it comes down to seeing how your diabetes is, or making a plan for how you will control your diabetes, the best person to go to is the person who has diabetes, because they know their body the best. With that being said, right now my sugar is 394. So currently I am on a insulin pump. I'll show you guys. This is my insulin pump right here. It has a little sticker thingy on it. I'll take the screen protector off. This is my insulin pump. It's a T-Slim, and it also connects with my Dexcom. Um, so there's so many different pumps that can help you with controlling your diabetes. But I take an insulin pump instead of me having to take 3, 4, 5 insulin shots a day. Last night my insulin pump died in my sleep, and I woke up with really high blood sugars. So one thing is, you might have an insulin pump, but insulin pumps are electronics, and what you have to do is you need to make sure that you keep yours charged. Mine had died in my sleep, and I woke up with a really high blood sugar. And with that being said, my sugar was so high, and I did not know. I woke up and I had ketones. So, ketones. These right here are ketone strips. So, if you have ketones are normally from really high blood sugars or really low sugars, and your body starts to break down fat for sugar. Because I have ketones, I have to follow this thing called a sick day rule. Day rules are, however old you are, you need to drink that many years. You need to drink that number in ounces. So I'm 17 years old, so I have to drink 17 ounces of water per hour. If you drink more than however old you are, that's good. If you don't drink as much as you need to, that's a bad thing, and that could result into you having to go to the hospital, getting fluids in an IV, and a whole process. You have to check your blood sugar every hour. So I'm on the Dexcom, but because basically when you're sick, when you have ketones, you're not supposed to use your insulin pump. You're supposed to take shots. The reason that you're supposed to take shots is because your body might not absorb the insulin correctly, and you just never know. So you want to make sure that you're getting exactly the amount of insulin. And because of the fact that it's a machine, you never know what could be happening. So I'm taking mine through the shot, and I'm taking it manually. So at that time, when you have ketones, you don't want to really rely on machines for everything, to do everything. You want to do everything manually. Because you have to check your blood sugars every hour, and you need to check your ketones every other hour. So every 2 hours, I check my ketones. Hopefully, praying that they go down. I have to check mine at 6 o'clock. So it's 5:54 right now. I have to check mine at 6 o'clock. So I'm praying that mine went down because I don't want to keep drinking water. My stomach hurts so bad. So right now, I'm about to check my blood sugar manually, so you guys can watch me. So this right here is my meter that I use. Probably can't see, the lighting is probably bad. This is my meter. It says test up at the top, my data, and then settings. So what I'm going to do, this is an AccuCheck guide. I'm going to press test, and then it tells me to insert a strip. So these are my strips right here. Sorry, y'all. That's from all the water that I've been drinking. Whew. So I'm going to insert I'm going to insert a test strip, and then I waited for it to load. So now it says apply your drop of blood. So with that being said, what you do is after you get your alcohol wipe, my hands are clean. I literally just came from the bathroom. You prick your finger. You get your finger, you prick it, and then you wait for. Oh, I'm sorry. Sometimes you might have to do it twice because the blood might not come out. So my blood is coming out. You don't need a huge drop of blood. So I got blood. And then now I'm going to insert it on the tip of it. So after it fills up, you wait for the I literally just did this word. Bruh. I'm over it. I'm drinking all this water, and I thought that Okay, guys, let me tell y'all. Sometimes diabetes can be very stressful. You can take insulin, and sometimes your sugar will not go down. I drunk my freaking life away, and I took insulin, and my sugar is 522. Literally. Oh, I literally just. Bro. I drank a lot of water. Okay, now this is what we're not about to do. Because I can take insulin all day. But what I'm not going to be doing is keep drinking. The purpose of drinking water is to flush out your ketones and to make sure that sometimes when your sugar goes high, not sometimes, 9 times out of 10, when your sugar goes high, you will get dehydrated because your body will try to absorb and, absorb water and stuff. But you will get dehydrated. So, I need to check my ketones. My sugar's 522. Any given time that your sugar is over 240, you need to check your ketones. So, guys, my ketones are away now, but my sugar's 552, so I know for sure that I'm going to have to drink so much more water. I'm so heated. So, my ketones are away, but my blood sugar is down. I mean, that was the first step. That was the purpose. Like, that was the goal, to get my ketones away, because ketones avoid hospitalizations, and I do not want to be in the hospital. So, because my ketones are now away, now my goal is to just get my blood sugar down. It was going up, but now I have to take more insulin to get my blood sugar down. Diabetics, when they are on insulin, they have this thing called a correction factor. So when you have a correction factor, your correction factor tells you how much medicine to take when depending on how much food you eat and how much your blood sugar is. So right now, since I'm not eating food, I would only apply my correction factor to my blood sugar. So my goal, ever since my sugar is 552, I don't know how. When I was drinking so much water and taking insulin, I hate this. I have to apply a correction factor. Well, I'm not going to actually take insulin right now because I literally just I just took insulin, but I'm going to still show you guys. So the way that works is whatever your target blood sugar is, you subtract that target number to figure out, okay, so to figure out how much insulin you take, what you would do is you would use your number minus your target number. So my blood sugar is 552. So I would type in 552 minus my target blood sugar is 100. So minus 100. So as you will see, number is 452. So depending on everybody's number is not going to be 452 unless your blood sugar is 552 and your target is 100. My number is 452. Now, my correction factor is 1 unit brings down my blood sugar 30 points. So to figure out how many units I would get, I would divide this 452 number, or whatever number you guys have, my 452 number divided by my insulin to correction factor. So mine is 1 unit brings it down 30, so I would do 452 divided by 30. So 452 divided by 30 is 15.06. So I would take 15 units for my blood sugar. Yeah, I just went downstairs to tell her that my sugar is 552, but my ketones went away. I'm still going to drink water because I don't want my ketones to come back. And 9 times out of 10, your ketones are coming from high blood sugars. So as my insulin is still working, I just took an insulin shot. It takes about depending on your body, it takes about 2 to 4 hours for your body to absorb the insulin to work. And I just took the insulin probably about an hour ago. So that insulin is still in the works right now. So I'm still going to drink the water. But I'm going to talk to you guys about low blood sugars. Now, if you have diabetes, you probably know, like, oh gosh, low blood sugars. Goodness. Or you probably experience like, oh, I've had low blood sugar and I've ate everything in the world and my sugar never comes up. Because I've had that experience. Like, I would literally like have low blood sugars and my sugar would just like be low, and I would eat like I used to eat like hundreds of carbs and my sugar would not go up to save its life. So what I do now is, hold on, let me show you. these are the 3 emergency things that I have in my room for middle of the night blues. If I'm up and I'm fully like active, I of course like everybody's first thing to go to is, oh, your sugar's low, drink some orange juice. Yeah, sometimes you could have orange juice, but that doesn't mean that it will always work. So of course if I'm up and I'm like running around, I could eat carbs, some fast acting carbs, orange juice. I could even eat food if my sugar's low. Um, and if it's like around time to eat, I could definitely like eat my meal. You could eat the peanut butter and jelly, something like quick, depending on what you're doing. Eat candy, you know, just something that has sugar and that could bring it up and balance it. So that would, of course, I would most definitely eat a meal or eat something that would actually last me if I'm up and it's like midday and my blood sugar's low. But me, I constantly, well, not constantly, before I'm still getting my sugars like under control. And then again, let me explain something to you guys. Having diabetes does not mean that your sugar, if you take insulin and you eat, does not mean that you're perfectly, it's going to basically, your diabetes will disappear. You would not have diabetes if your blood sugars were under control automatically. So, like, of course, you're going to have times when your blood sugar goes skyrocketing high. Of course, you're going to have times when your sugar is going to, go super low. And it's like, sometimes when people don't have diabetes and they see things from an outside perspective, they don't really understand what it's like having diabetes. They only know what it's like knowing someone who has it because they don't have it. So if you have diabetes, I totally support you. I support you. And if you have any questions and you have diabetes, or you know someone who has diabetes, and you have any questions about how you could support them, or any questions about how you could help your diabetes or whatever, DM me. My information is in the description box below. You can DM me. You can message me on Twitter. Snapchat me, whatsoever, because I am open to all questions. Or even better yet, you could comment or respond to something to the box down below. Now, in the middle of the night, sometimes I definitely could have lows at like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I could have them at 6, 7 in the morning, and I don't want to get up and go into the kitchen and make something because I'm tired. I just want to, eat something and just go like lay back in my bed. Or I don't want to go too far from my bed because I'm still tired. I have icing. I can eat a spoon of icing and lay down. Some people might think like, ew, that's nasty. Do what you do when you got diabetes. You gotta survive. I have my mom. She bought me these instant glucose things. I've had it only one time. I'm not a fan of it, but saves your life. And then the award winner. A lot of people like these. These are glucose tablets. So glucose tablets are fast acting carbs inside of a tablet, and all you gotta do is like eat probably like 2, 3, 4, depending on how low your blood sugar is. You can eat some of these and your sugar will like boost right up. Sometimes people don't know when their blood sugar is low. Usually if you start getting like dizzy, or you start feeling weak, or you start being in a daze, like sometimes I like how I used to know that my sugar was low is if I would be sitting in class or something and my teacher would be talking and I can't concentrate. Like no matter how hard I try to concentrate, I just can't concentrate. Or maybe it was just because they was boring. It's like no. I just literally couldn't concentrate. Like they would be talking, they'd be like, Destiny, what did I say? And I'd be like, I don't know. Like I didn't, have any like I just couldn't concentrate to save my life. Um, or my head would be spinning, or I would just be sitting down and I would just be dizzy. That's how I knew that mine was. Or even if I was like to be shaking. Um, um, to know that my sugar was high, I would know if I constantly have to urinate. Like if I'm constantly going to the bathroom, or I'm just so thirsty, I knew my sugar was high. Because if you're constantly going to the bathroom like a lot, or you're just so thirsty, and it's like seems abnormal than what you usually drink, your blood sugar is high. Parents, siblings, whatsoever. If you have someone who is diabetic and they live in your house, let me show y'all something. Who has diabetes? 9 times out of 10, your doctor should have gave you something called a glucagon. So A glucagon is for whenever your diabetic has low blood sugars and they are unconscious. So, say my blood sugar was low and I'm asleep, or I pass out and you can't get me up. I'm unconscious at that point. But that doesn't mean just leave me there, dying, or wait for me to wake up, because there could be a possibility that they don't wake up. So there's this thing called a glucagon. Mine looks like this. This is a glucagon. It's fairly new, so this is the new one they just came out with. So this is my glucagon. It's now into a nasal spray. I'm not sure, depending on your insurance, you might be able to get a nasal spray one, or there might be one where it's inside of a box. Before I had this, I just got this probably about like a month or two ago. Um, I had mine as a needle. It was like a box. It was like a long box, and it was like red, and inside of it was a like really long needle, and there had liquid. There was like saline inside of the water, and there was like this vial that had sugar or glucose in it. And what you had to do was, whenever you opened it, you injected all of that saline inside of the vial. You shook it up, and then you re-pulled it out, and then you injected it into them. So basically, it was like saline and glucose, powdered glucose, and you would inject it into them. And then at that point, if you ever need to use your glucagon, 9 times out of 10 you need to call 911, because they're unconscious and their blood sugar is low. It's now, if you have diabetes, nine times out of 10 you're working with needles on a daily basis. It's not really healthy and safe to throw your needles into a trash bag, can, whatever, because at that point your needles could, one, it could poke through the bag or through the bin or whatever you're disposing it in, and poke someone, which could be a case. That could cause a case, because someone is, that's not safe. One. So what I have a sharps container. This is my sharps container. I just started using it recently. I used to store mine. If you don't, okay, so one, if you can't get a sharps container, you could put yours into like a soda bottle or a juice bottle, and you could put your needles in like that, because it's safe. It won't poke through. Now, if you can get these you can get it, like, you can ask your doctors to possibly fill it. Your insurance might pay for it, not sure. Or where I got mine from was CVS. CVS has them. CVS, Rite Aid, your local drugstore could most definitely have these, and you could buy them from them. Now, which you 9 times out of 10, there are instructions on how to dispose it, and okay, what about when it gets full? You could have someone. There should be a number in the box, or on the box, or in the box. There should be like a paper that tells you how to dispose it correctly. Mine's, all I have to do is just call them or look on the website, and they will come and get it, and that's how I dispose it. So that's it for all of my diabetes information. If you guys have any questions, of course, feel free to comment in the box below. There's also in the description box, I have all my social media. I use that a lot, and I use that to connect with people on a daily basis. So if you have any questions, I would be more than happy to answer them for you. Hey y'all, so it's actually 4 o'clock in the morning, I think. Icing does not taste the best, but sometimes I gotta do. I'd rather leave. As y'all can see, being a diabetic has its ups and downs to it. This video is not to scare anybody, but more to educate you guys on things in life as a diabetic. And make sure you guys just stay healthy, because this has its ups and downs to it. Seriously. But that's it for y'all.